But it's quite a nice surprise, this building.
Yes, and we saw this, and we came one way at this side, and we saw the front.
Yeah.
And it's the front of many little like frames. Different frames on the wall.
Yeah.
Yes. But I want to go to the other side. And we saw this.
Yeah.
This was after we look on your website and we looked your works.
Of course.
Yes, we saw your works.
There is something about boxes.
Yes, genau. It's something about boxes, and always we have this frame.
Yeah. It's typical Dutch, but in a sense I can agree with it that we have a strong tendency to rule and to organize and to what is the good word for it?
Give structure.
Structure, yeah.
But it's a thing that they always tell about the Germans. They are
but we're pretty much the same. There's not much difference. And of course, it's obvious that architecture is one of the main things where my work starts with.
Yeah.
But it's a more complicated story. It's not only architecture, it's like all the stuff we surround us with, like cars and clothing and tools and whatever, and architecture. It's like a shield around us, what we made ourselves. But this shield, of course, reflects quite a lot of who we are.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of using this to make a portrait of human beings, of the Dutch. And I'm interested in a box again.
Yes, a box again. Yes.
It's not only that I'm reflecting on Dutch architecture or Dutch life, but obviously it's what most surrounds me, and therefore I'm using it. But I'm using quite a lot of images from internet too, or whatever source. So any architecture, American architecture, is quite interesting, I think, in a way. But so, yeah, this surrounds me, and therefore it influences me. I focused on those moments, like a refrigerator. Then, when everyone leaves the house, then suddenly you can hear the refrigerator, and you start to think about the sound, and it becomes an atmosphere. And the kitchen is an atmosphere, and you almost can smell what has been cooking last night, and that's the sort of world I want to create.
In our home we have a refrigerator that makes exactly the same noise as your one.
Get rid of it. Throw it away.
Yeah.
It's annoying. There's a sort of change going on the last 2 years, that most of the works from before 2 years, they're always interiors, and nowadays I'm making more and more exteriors and looking inward.
Yeah.
So it becomes more architecture in a sense. Where it was interior decorating, now it becomes architecture. It's still life here. Very nice. Very Dutch. Oh, yeah, well,
so,
you can see this in Germany too.
Yeah. Aber dann bist du jemand, weißt du, they made a great front. Spectacular, extraordinary.
Yeah.
And we're going around,
and then
what's catching you is the side, the little.
Of course.
One.
Yeah. It's far more interesting because here you can see a clash. This is. I'm very interested in modernism. I'm a fan of modernism, but therefore I criticize modernism. This is what became of it. We've been working on this for 150 years, roughly. Architecture, okay, it sort of became something, but the inhabitants, they didn't go along with it. I'm pretty certain, and not completely certain, but it's a flat for senior citizens. And of course there is a generation problem. This is a flat made by young architects, and they wanted to show off, of course, and then people from age 70 live in it. So there's also a bit of a problematic connection there. That's, and I think, an aspect which is forgotten quite often, or quite easily, especially by architects, I think, that they have a great power, and that they're always deciding for other people how to live and what the quality of living will be. So it's a great responsibility they have. And of course, architects know about the responsibility, but nowadays I doubt whether they've been sort of serious enough in this.
And you as an artist, gibt es für dich auch so eine Art von Verantwortung? Feel your responsibility too in your work?
Yeah, I have to make a good piece of art. But it's difficult to define. No, there's the responsibility, yes.
Yeah.
But I think you
But only dir selbst gegenüber?
Nein. That's denk ich auch nicht. You have a responsibility. If you make art, you feel a responsibility. It belongs to each other. You don't make art if you don't. Yeah, if you want to entertain, fair enough. But like, we think serious art is not only entertainment. It's something more. And if you believe in this something more, then it's clear that you feel a responsibility. You do it for other people. There's a part you do for yourself, but it is mainly for other people. It's a communication. You want to tell something to other people, and you think it's an important message. You like to believe this. So this responsibility is always there, but it's a different responsibility than the architect has in this sense. I mean, that he is deciding for other people where they're going to live, where they have children, where they're going to marry, where like the whole drama of life will happen.
And the work of an artist is more basically, or the Grundlagenforschung.
Yeah, more philosophically, more basically, it's reacting on society on a more abstract level, and it's what I said. It's facultative. You can choose for it. You can't force anyone to look at art. You can try to stimulate people to look at art, but you can't force them. I started at the Art Academy painting, but then I lost my way. I didn't know what to do. Of course, I started as so many students with a romantic idea about art, so I got stuck with that. And I feel the urge to tell a story, how strange a story it is. That, of course, but these are stories. It's a little tale. It's something that happened somewhere or is happening. So I find this very interesting. But with painting, I can't do that.
Deine Modelle?
Ja.
Was ist denn der Unterschied?
Because I can take a piece of wood and it justifies itself because it's wood. it's very easy.
Aspekt.
Yeah, it's very easy, but it's how you fool yourself somehow. All those big things are pretty difficult to handle, and therefore I finally made miniatures, so miniature installations. And the first one was a dollhouse. There I found the power of the model, how strong it can work, and especially because the model is something most people know best from toys or souvenirs or kitsch. So it's like it's always depicting an idealistic world, which is fun and nice and sweet and pink. And so if you do something nasty in a model, you automatically have a wonderful contradiction. like the miniature is sweet and easy, and then you do something which is from the great dark outside world. So that's quite interesting to play with. So, well, more or less, this is where I start. I use pencil and I make little sketches. This is how the idea develops. And then at a certain point, I think, well, this is sort of what I want it to be. And then I built such a model in SketchUp to know exactly how it looks in 3D. And then in the end, I can find the best view from it. So what I explained, I can sort of zoom in on this one, and I can decide that this is the ideal view. And then I can export this as a 2D image and print it on the exact size that I want the piece to be. Like this one is a 1-to-1 print, which is on the wall. And I actually used this print as to make the work. So I measure from the print. No, it's not the most fun part. It's just labor. It has to be done. The good thing is, of course, when you build it in 3D, it always becomes a surprise how it shows. It's a little present when it's nearly finished. Then, of course, it's great to look at it, and of course, you feel satisfaction that you made it. But actually, over here, when I'm exporting the 2D print, it's finished for me.